So what I'm finding is anecdotally is that there are a lot of women who are divorced or basically abandoned by their husbands and are
Yeah, I'm sure.
working real. Oh, it's a big thing in Europe. Husbands just walk away. They go to a different
Great.
country. They create a new family. And
Yeah.
oh, yeah, yeah. And yeah, it's a thing. It's definitely a thing. And
I think
so
that happens in America a lot.
well,
Probably more
Well,
if
I don't
you
know
look
about the
at the stats.
abandoning because there's a court
Yes,
here's the
there's a
thing.
system.
court
Yeah.
system. Yes, yes.
Tell you a story. Um, when my wife died, the Italians didn't believe we were actually married, so that I did not have the authority to either bury her or cremate her.
See, that's the
Yeah, that's one of those things.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so it is definitely a thing in Europe, and so I'm this woman I'm talking with, whom I like very much, and she's very I just like her, and we're going to meet, next week, and
Wait, you're gonna
she's
meet her next week?
mm-hmm,
You've never met before.
mm-mm,
Oh,
nope.
okay. So this is a brand new girl?
Well, it's brand new, but it's different because we text often and we
Oh,
talk.
he's already had communication.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and we're on the phone a lot of times, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I can't talk now. I'm on with my daughter, and I'm like, oh, I'm with my mom, and we'll catch up tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So, we have something set up for Wednesday, before Christmas
So I'm
break.
guessing it's not a long distance. She lives in Rome or
She lives in Rome is huge, so it's not the easiest place to get around. But yeah, she's from Rwanda, and uh, very pretty. And,
so she's
and
wait, so she's originally from Rwanda
yes,
But so she's not okay.
and but she lives in Rome
yes.
and
She ended up to be the wife of a diplomat and spent years in Germany, and now she's in Italy.
living
Oh
her
yeah,
best
yeah.
life.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So she's fascinating, and I actually did spend time living in Germany. So there are a lot of intersections there, and she has kids that are
Okay.
about, you know, almost 30, and my older kids are almost 30, and there's a lot of intersections there, and so for me,
Hmm.
those are the things that I look for. It's not just like so if I connect with a woman who says I have no kids, I don't want any kids, uh, smoking is a no go for me. Um, and it's so you kind of, excuse me, connect with people on a different level. But I think I got to her with Hinge, and within about 10 exchanges, she's like, "Here's my number."
Okay.
So, well, I mean, I don't.
Is Hinge the one where the woman has to
No, that's
Okay,
Bumble.
You're
okay.
talking about
Yeah,
Bumble,
okay.
right? Right. So, I, from my point of view, I don't ask for a number. Okay. If someone offers, I'm like right on it. Here's my number. Okay. Text me, call me, beat me, whatever you want to do. No, because if a woman is that interested that she's willing to offer her phone number, which is, it's not um, it's not a simple thing for a woman. It's not, easy. It's like you have to be like really interested and confident.
Interested and trust.
Yes, and feel comfortable to do
Yes.
that.
Right, right.
Yes.
And so now this woman, Monique, like we can talk. She's like, "Oh, I have to work today, but I have 20 minutes. Do you want to talk?" I'm like, "Well, yeah."
And
Kidding
dare
me?
I ask how old she is?
She is 51
Okay.
and I'm 60,
Yep.
okay? And uh
Yeah. Yeah.
so she's a young chick to me.
No, that's still age appropriate. That's still age
I mean,
appropriate.
I think so. I think so.
I
So,
think so. I think
yeah.
so.
Yeah,
Yep.
and she's her daughter, she's like, "Oh, my daughter's birthday was like last week and she's 29." And I'm like, "Oh, that's so cool." And she's dating this German guy because Monique lived in Berlin with her ex-husband, diplomat guy for 12 years and so forth and so on. It's almost like playing chess, okay? You have to figure out not only like what's connecting two people. When I connected with my second wife, we found out that we lived in the same places in the US at different times,
Oh, wow.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So she lived in New Hampshire because she was a graduate student and I was a working guy. And then we both lived in Washington, D.C. for the same time. And we both lived in Hartford, Connecticut area at the same time.
Have you found any such common things with this new woman yet? Like, have you found what makes
Well,
you very interested in her? Like, are there things that you feel like you have in common with her, or?
well, so one of the things is that she lived in Germany for many years, and I spoke German when I was younger and was an exchange student in Germany. And her daughter lives in Germany and dates a German guy. And she is, oh, I'm going to say a little bit lighter than Patricia. Um, and so when what I found is that when people travel a lot, and I have, like, I've been very fortunate that way to travel and see other places. Are you with me?
We're here.
Or okay, so
Yeah.
okay, the video seemed a little staggered.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there are these intersections. Like, okay, we've been in the same places, but at different times. We understand these different cultures because, you know, I mean, to be honest, I mean, she and I are actually both outsiders in Italy. People look at me and they speak English. They don't try to even speak Italian.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
and you know, she's a really nice cocoa colored skin, and you know, she feels like she's an outsider in Italy too. But she speaks Italian, and I don't. And
She can teach you, maybe. Mhm.
yeah.
So what are her goals? Have you guys talked about goals? What are her goals?
Well,
Do you
I
know?
mean, so here's the thing. I mean, at this point, like, we both have kids. She has a job. I don't work. I'm a lazy guy, slob. I kind of clean the apartment when I decide to. Um, we're still in the, like,
Oh, so you
say the
haven't had that conversation.
no, I haven't even met yet.
But you've been talking on the phone.
and you read her profile, and most profiles have some kind of indicator
of
of
what
what.
the goals are.
Yes, yeah.
Well, yeah,
What
I mean,
site
like,
was it on? What
um,
site?
I
Was
think
it a
this was
Hinge?
Hinge. This was on
Okay,
Hinge.
then
Hinge,
it would
actually.
have it on
Yeah.
Hinge. Then it
Yeah.
Yeah,
has the goal.
Yeah.
okay, if you look at these on-site profiles
So
enough,
what was her goal on there?
her goal was I don't even remember. It was just like we
Good God.
no, seriously. So
Good God.
it was like,
Mhm.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
be nice to meet a guy who's nice, sort of thing.
That wasn't what
But
was on her
No.
goal. She had a specific goal on there.
uh,
She's like,
Yeah,
the
and she's
thing,
50. So she's,
yeah,
she's got some time
she's got goals.
to go. Yeah.
yeah,
So,
but the thing is with the dating sites, okay, not everybody is really explicit about their goals, right?
most
And
women are.
Women are.
Yes.
Men no.
Are loosey goosey.
Yes.
But women
nah,
are specific
if
about
if
what they're looking for.
yeah, I'll tell you what, if you go to Granny
Yeah.
Space, if you go to grannyspace.com, they fill out the absolute minimum of what they're looking for. Do I have kids? No answer. Do I
On
smoke? No answer.
what.com? On what.com?
Grannyspace.com.
Okay, because
Because that's it. That doesn't even
It
count.
don't even matter
That
in
don't
that
count.
situation because the
No.
people on there are looking for one thing.
Yes.
There is a goal.
Yeah. It has nothing to do
you'd
with.
be
Yeah, on
surprised.
Granny, no, you wouldn't be
No,
putting
no,
that.
no.
If I went on there, I wouldn't be concerned about what my long-term goals were.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. Okay.
Uh-huh.
No. Take my word for it. Because
Okay,
I've
you
been
be skirting around because you know what our goals is.
so
You
some are like
Mm.
sex.
Yes. Oh, can we say that?
Thing.
Can we say that?
Just not a lot.
We
Okay,
gotta
you
limit.
could edit that part out. But
Bleep.
some of the
But yeah, on
profiles are like,
sites like that, they're pretty specific. They're not. There's no long-term interaction going on.
no, but that's the deceiving part. I mean, they have a nice profile picture. Look, I like a wide range of body profiles. Let me put it that way. And they're like, I want sex, and I'm like, great, but it's just, I'm like, so how many hoops am I going to have to jump through to actually get you to a cup of coffee? That's what ends up happening, right?
But if you're on a site that is explicit about the whole sexual thing,
So
why
exactly, and
would
that
you expect something different? That don't
this
I
is
don't understand. Why would you
this is what
expect
I don't
something?
understand. Okay, it's like grannyspace.com, and a woman sends me a message and says,
Although he got
I want
married.
I want sex. Well, okay. Well, how do we do this?
Well,
I need to get to
He
know
did
you
get
better.
married too.
No, I'm not getting married. I
Well,
don't
not
want to
now, but
spend
I'm
a
saying.
million messages trying to get to know you. Let's have a cup of coffee and see if you actually like me or I like you. And then maybe we could, have
see, that
sex.
sounds loosey-goosey. For a woman, her asking if you want to be married long term isn't her saying she wants to marry you. It's just she wants to know the time that she. But it really isn't. It's just
It's
she
a
wants to
very
make
good
sure her
point.
time is not being wasted. Like if I'm going to do this and
Yeah.
get to know you, I want to know down the road that
Yeah.
our goals are aligned.
Yeah.
That's what she's saying.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm okay with that. It's just
Mm-hmm.
that if the opening line is I want sex, But then
Oh,
the
that.
underlying message is I want to find somebody to be with for years, for my life. That's not really um
No, I don't think there's an underlying message to that statement. I think that's pretty much
oh
cut and dry.
no
Now,
no no no
maybe
no.
because you're in another culture. You're talking about American or where you are Italian, because I
I'm in
think
Italy,
it's
yes.
okay. So
And
then that's a
so
different culture. So
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
so
know what the women there would be thinking or doing. I can't
yeah,
Sweden and
say.
in Sweden it'd be the same as here.
Uh,
Our message is pretty
it's the
much
same.
the
Okay.
same.
Okay.
So I
well,
can't. Although, like, I don't know Italian,
Yeah, I don't know what
but
their.
I
so
can't
are you
imagine.
Yeah.
saying that the message is one thing, but the underlying message is something different?
No, I don't know. If you're saying there's women saying I want X, I don't think there's under nothing. I don't think there's anything underlying to that. I think that's pretty much cut and dry.
That's what I
I
think.
don't think there's anything underlying to that
I mean,
statement.
I'm thinking like if a woman says to me, "I want sex," I'm like, "Oh, I'll we have a drink first, and then have sex if that's what you want, right?" I'm not reading too much into that. Again, dumb guy. I'm not uh, trying to decipher everything. Okay. However, it's like if there's a woman who really intrigues me, uh, I'm willing to have lots of phone calls and text messages and hearts and stuff on the messages and like I really like you and let's when we get to meet. And in Italy, it's very common to have cheek kisses and so forth and so on. And then, like some of this one woman I'm chatting with said, "Well, what will you do when you meet me?" And I said, "What I will do is give you the typical cheek kisses and grab your ass." And
Oh,
she's like, "Yeah." She's like,
Ye-
See, I
what?
guess the Italian women are way forward. I
no,
guess,
no
I don't know if
well,
it
we're
depends
talking
on if
about
they come from the adult
yeah, well,
side or if they come
yeah,
from him.
right.
that's the thing.
Yeah,
You're coming from the adult side,
yeah.
okay?
The
You
Okay, well
want
adult
then,
side,
okay,
everything's
well then,
out.
yes,
you
Yes,
want some
of
attention
course.
and you can
Anything
you
have a
might
adult,
as
nice
well just,
yeah.
yeah.
okay.
So
And if I'm
that
gonna
doesn't count.
if
Yeah,
you
if it's the
guys
adult
if
side, I can't speak.
okay, so
Yeah,
There's no culture that
yeah, that's just what it is.
it's just
no.
like,
Yeah.
okay, give me a hug, give me some kisses. I'm gonna grab your butt and you can grab my balls if you want. Okay?
It's,
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The adult.
I'm like, and she's like,
Yes, and there's a
there you
theme
go.
going here.
and I'm
So
talking like in public, you know,
You see, yeah, because
that's that mindset of the group of people
yeah,
that are on that site is that, which is
exactly,
fine as long as everybody's consenting. That is fine. I'm just
yeah.
saying
exactly, and like
that is what
actually, it's
that
like
is.
not only can you, will you, it's like, will you please?
Yes. And I think that kind of makes sense as far as you going on those sites
Hmm.
and looking for women, because those women aren't typically, I would say, looking for long term. They're looking for right
Even if,
now in this moment. So that would be
even if,
that's the
but even
perfect thing for you.
they are looking for long term, okay, which I'm perfectly okay. I mean, there are definitely benefits for long term, okay, from my point of view, and so yeah, I'm okay with a woman getting, you know, subtly affectionate and playing footsie under the table and whatever, right?
So what do you have planned for the meetup with, I want to call her Monique?
Monique, yes. So we're going to meet on. So as we push into the Christmas season and everybody's on vacation, uh, she's finishing up a project, and I'm going to meet her at a metro station, and she she is choosing the. We'll meet, and then she's the one who's choosing the bar, bistro, whatever, and I
Mhm.
just and that's to be honest, that's the thing with me. Like, I want a woman to choose a place where she'll be comfortable. Um, you know, to like in an environment she's comfortable, and I go to meet her. I've had I've had a couple of dates where the woman said, "Oh, I want to get out of Central Rome and come to the seaside," and I said, "Oh," and I'd show her the menu of the bistro that I like and the location, and she's like, "Oh, great." And I said, I'll meet you at the metro station, and whatever I'm wearing that day, I take a snapshot, a selfie, and I send it to her and say, this is me. This is the guy you want to meet. And we walk and we talk and everything else. Um, I, I, I do try to be very respectful and have a good date and conversation, and we have a little vino, we have a little food, and we talk, and like I said, I end up attracting these women who are highly educated and who do travel and tourist services. So yeah, that's it for me right now. I mean, I'm seriously still new to this.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
So,
what in the culture you're in right now, how does the paying for the date work? Like, is there any debate about that, or is it just a natural thing that you do as far as who pays?
oh, um, so what I'm proposing is a very low key date.
Right.
So, uh, either I, I I would like, some wine, some pasta, whatever, and I'm okay paying for that. It's not very expensive here in Italy, and there is a place that I do like, and I know the waitress whom I tip regularly, and she has very good service. So, it's uh, but for the first date, I'm okay.
So
Do
what about
most women, like, would you say that
Well,
women in Rome expect for you to pay, or how do you,
it's such a crapshoot. I don't understand.
yeah.
I don't know.
so,
Like,
so how do you
let me explain like this. So on the one hand, and this is, I'm sure you've heard this before, like, oh, everybody's equal. Okay, cool. But
No.
except when it comes to paying the bill,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
right? So,
Absolutely.
I mean, okay. So for me,
Absolutely.
first date,
And that's funny, except when it comes to paying the bill. Absolutely.
oh,
Mhm.
so as my brother describes it, he says alligator arms. They, they can't reach the
Oh,
wallet.
they're like the T-Rex. You can't, they're so little. I can't reach.
Yes.
I
And
can't reach.
so, I mean, the place I like to go, um, they're very cool. They put the bill in the center of the table. Okay. And they're like,
So
Mhm.
we'll,
there's so I guess I'm assuming it's not understood. Like well, of course, in the United States, the bill is always set to the man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But so, because it's an understanding. Yeah.
Well, here well, I've been to this place a number of times with not just date, but with family and a larger family and a huge group.
Mm-hmm.
So they just like put the bill in the middle of the table and they're like, you guys
Uh-huh.
sort it out, right? And,
Mm-hmm.
I oftentimes, uh, I'll just collect some cash and, pay it by card.
Mm-hmm.
And,
But what about on a date though? Like,
um,
what is typical? Do the women do they expect that they're gonna pay?
no, they don't expect to pay, but they will split the bill.
Oh, the
They're
splitting.
going Dutch.
Ah,
Yeah. And then the going Dutch means I probably will never hear from them again.
absolutely. Well, you wrote your ticket. You signed consent never to see them again.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
Absolutely. Okay, so it's the
and
same there.
and you know what?
Okay, it's the
So
same.
so the story is that I went on a date with this woman who is very smart and divorced and so forth and so on. Great. We had a nice time and we had coffee and then she's like, "Oh, we should go get something to eat." And I said, "Well, these people at the next table, they have this huge platter of little snacks." And she said, "That's a great idea." Okay. And now she wasn't a drinker, and I like to have my cocktails. And she's like, "No, no, no, have a cocktail." But she was a smoker, so she would slide a little to the side and have a smoke. And I'm like, "Okay, cool." And we, I would definitely have had a second date with her. I liked her. She was smart. I had no idea, like, if there was a sexual vibe there or not, but I'd have given it another go. And when the bill came, she asked the waiter to split the bill. I'm like, okay, cool. That's really kind. And then I texted her. She didn't text back. I said, "Are you okay?" She said, "I haven't been feeling well." I said, "Are you feeling any better?" And she said, "A little bit." And after a couple of tries, like, I'm done. Okay, I I'm not stupid. Okay, I can. Okay, no,
However, you broke your boundary, which is no
The smoking.
smokers.
well, okay. So the no smoking thing is really, excuse me, is close to me because that was one of the key issues
Oh,
with my second wife.
okay.
Mm,
Yeah, she was a smoker since she was
yeah.
as,
Okay.
as many times as she tried to quit, it didn't work. Okay, but that was the uh, on the death certificate. That's what they said. It was lung cancer.
So do
Okay.
you actually do you would you date a smoker, or is it kind of
It's
How they look.
I would so here's the thing. Thought I would, but then I was married to one for 15 years, and it was a amazing roller coaster ride, right? So
So you're used to it. I mean, it's yeah,
no, I'm used to it as long as it's outside and
yeah. Mhm.
and um, I prefer not to. But so here's the thing.
But it's not a deal breaker.
Right. It's something that you can work around.
Something, yeah, it's something I can work with.
Yeah.
And there are definitely things. So, for example,
Do you have deal breakers? Are there any things that are like, okay, that's a deal breaker?
Like, no way.
Like, if this, then you're out. Is there any such thing that you have?
well, I'm really hesitant. So I like to drink. Right? I'm upfront about that. I like my beer in the evening. I like to drink with my meals and so forth and so on. I'm not like, I wouldn't say I'm drunk or anything, or I get tipsy very often, except maybe with my friend in Ireland, which is which is about once a year. Uh, so if somebody said they weren't a drinker, I'm like, well, are you okay with the fact that I have a drink or more than one? So I mean, I think that's like it's a big deal, So people are just not like, oh, I don't drink, so then maybe a partner of mine shouldn't drink
Right.
or doesn't drink.
Yeah.
Smoking is kind of a big deal. Like I don't smoke. Okay. In the in, I'm saying this because my son might be listening. In the past, when I was younger, I did. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So I also understand the level of addiction of nicotine. I get it. But I, as an adult, I can understand all of these things, and it's just like, well, this and that, whatever. So, the smoking thing is really kind of, it's an issue for me because I lost my wife to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, it wasn't just that. He was a drinker too. So yay, hey, a bottle of wine here, a bottle of wine there, 2 o'clock in the morning, and we're doing, now that we're adults here, we're doing some crazy, wild.
So you don't have any deal breakers? You don't have any physical deal breakers as far as physical appearance, mental, emotional state?
Well, I'll put it this way: I've dated women who were triathletes, who were skinny as crap, and who were super nice, and I dated a woman who was an attorney, who was thick and curvy. I I pref- I'm really I tend toward the thick and curvy because there's more to hold on to.
Oh my God. He said that. He said that too. He said that.
Yes, I did.
Yeah,
I said,
yeah.
That's
But
fine.
it seems like you really don't. So you definitely, because I'm just listening to you talk about your experiences, and I haven't heard anything negative. And we're used to hearing, especially from men, our age group, saying negative things about women in our age group. So I think it's very refreshing, and I think it's a wonderful thing that you have been talking all this time about women and dating, and you've not said one, not
No,
that
I
I can
can't think
think
of
of,
one thing that
negative
was.
thing that you've said about us.
And if you look at the Reddits, you've seen
but
all the things.
I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that you seem pretty open. You're not limiting yourself.
no, I really don't think I am limiting myself not to, uh, let's say, I, okay, my limit would be somebody who's like super sexually controlling and not open. Okay.
Mhm.
I
Okay.
might, okay. So I'm open to body type, to color, to just generally a happy person. Okay.
Yeah, so that's
Mm-hmm.
freeing. I can see why you
Mm-hmm.
don't you're not met with a lot of frustrations
Mm-hmm.
because
No,
you have a lot of
the only
opportunity.
frustration is anybody that won't actually meet me for a date in real life. That's, I mean, so the woman, like I said earlier, the woman I'm going to meet on Wednesday is from Rwanda, and I've seen her pictures, and she's beautifully mocha. She's and
Uh-oh.
yeah, okay, so okay, I mean, like, okay, she's really pretty, and we have such wonderful conversations, and I'm that's
Well,
me.
I'm almost thinking we need to, I would love to have a follow-up
Oh yes, with that
after,
yes, to see
Yeah,
like
how
because
after
how
your,
it's going. Like maybe
the
yeah,
problem.
like
2 weeks or
like a little follow-up to
yeah.
see how it
Yeah,
all
no,
went.
not a problem. I'm completely open to that as
Yes.
long as I
That
don't
would be kind of
That
meet.
would
neat.
be.
Okay, so just if uh as long as we don't, the three of us meet in person, we're good because you're both beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Oh.
Okay, and that could get a little
Nope.
weird.
What if it,
No, I can't.
he said as long as the three of us.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying like the three of us at this. I'm just saying that you're both beautiful. That's all I'm saying.
Thank
Oh, you
I'm
said
not just let's just
it might get a little what?
I don't
You
even
said I
no,
know.
no.
It'd
Look,
be
if you're
funny. You
gonna
said no.
if you're going to if you're gonna project, that's not on me, okay? But you are both beautiful women. That's
Oh, well, thank you.
that's all. I'm not saying anything else.
nope. You couldn't.
Nope, nope. Didn't say it. Are you have
But
you yes.
but yes. So no. So we should have. When
Yeah.
is this date? Is it coming up
Shall we say Wednesday?
Wednesday? Okay. So yeah.
Yeah,
So we should
what
have
so
a
Wednesday,
follow
right?
up
And then
thing.
so Wednesday in the evening, yeah. So it could be I have no idea. Like I'm like, do I need to get a Uber home? And the let me explain. The Uber home thing is because of the trains uh, stopping at a certain hour and the buses and strikes and everything else that's going on in Rome right now.
Mhm.
So it has nothing to do with like, am I having a sleepover or whatever? No, it's not the.
I think everyone was thinking.
I was not thinking that.
But don't get
I'm
me,
thinking that.
don't
That.
don't
Thank you. But
get me wrong. I would be like over the moon
but yeah.
if I were
You know
invited to a sleepover. Like,
He still,
Sounds like
he still
sleepover sounds like 5-year-olds kind of. But
does sound
okay.
like that. But
um I would like for you if you were giving another man same age advice as far as dating at this age and in this you know the online dating and all that, electronic dating, whatever, what advice would you give him? Someone who's giving up or frustrated.
Um, that's a rough one because, I'll be honest, with this one, like grannyspace.com, I deleted my account and I was gone for months and
Mm.
I was into Bumble and Tinder. I don't think is, again, this is location specific too. Okay.
Yeah.
So for Tinder, Italy, not so much. Um, Hinge is okay. Actually, I connected with this woman on Hinge, and she lives in the U.S., but we continue to text because I don't know. She likes me, and she's 50, and she lives in D.C., and she knows that I live there, so I understand what her uh, living situation is. Let's see. For a guy,
Yes.
so Bumble is actually pretty good, um, because they're different. So a woman can control, like, oh,
Right.
I have. Let me give you. So they've advanced from what I understand. They've advanced from the woman just making the introduction herself to
Mhm.
just giving a question, like, what would you do if, or what is your favorite movie, or something like that, just to a starter, right? So it's almost like dating in real life, like, hey, let's have a drink, and oh, by the way, what's your favorite movie? What's your favorite song? Which I think is a really good way to open people up.
Mhm.
Um, so I would definitely recommend Bumble. Um, because, and I'll say it because the women on Bumble are more inclined to try to initiate a date as opposed to chat infinitely. Why are
Okay.
you laughing?
No, it's funny because I know
No,
some
it's
men
not
do.
funny. It's not funny.
No, I mean some
It
men
is
do
funny.
say that women are just chatting, they say, and not wanting to meet.
So there are women that I like on this other site, and they're just like
Oh,
chatting and
yeah.
chatting. And as soon as I say, oh, let's have a coffee or let's have a wine date or something, done.
But those are
Yeah, it's like, oh, I don't know you well enough. Well, how are you going to know me if you don't meet the person? It's just this. We've been chatting for a month. You know my.
Okay, yeah, month, yeah.
Yeah.
Girl, you can't.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. I have revealed my darkest
That's a
sexual
dog.
desires. Okay, and then she says to me, I don't know you well enough. And I'm like, oh, come
Oh no,
on.
she knows you too.
Oh, she knew too much.
No, all she has to, no,
TMI, too much
She's
information.
like, I know you do.
no,
And
but
those
I mean,
code words. No,
maybe,
she's like, I know you.
oh,
Oh, I know you. No, not
so,
today.
But
so
listen, Paul, we actually have to wrap
Oh yes,
this
we have
because we have, yes,
we
we're
got
gonna see Kay here in just
so
a few
2 seconds.
minutes.
I
Yep.
had a woman who connected with me on one of the sites, and she looked at my profile and she said, you look like you know things that the devil doesn't know.
Good God.
Ooh.
Was that one of the erotic
Yeah.
sites?
No, yeah, I'm only on the erotic sites.
That on that site.
I,
That would be too
I,
long
I'm
thing,
an,
right?
I'm an
For a site like that.
I know who I am. I'm an erotic guy,
Well, then that's
and
exactly where you need to be. With
That was
like
subtle.
you need to be with like-minded people, and that's why I think why you know are still optimistic, because you are going where you supposed to be going. You're not trying to put a square in a circle, you know,
yeah,
you're doing
I'm not trying to
yes,
pretend who I'm not, and
exactly. Authenticity, being your
and I
authentic self.
and I'm looking for my
Absolutely.
people.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I'm looking for my, kind of hot,
Yes,
There
you're
you go.
good.
sexy,
There you go.
really,
Time. Yes.
people. Oh
But
yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
that's right. That's
Yeah.
why you are
There you go. And that's what we tell people to
yes, to
do
be
that, to be
authentic, be
themselves.
yourself.
Yep.
Yeah.
exact.
Yep.
That's the point. Be
Yeah.
yourself. Don't
Yeah.
try
Be
to
who you
pretend.
are.
No.
No. Look, I'm a really, in my opinion, I'm a very nice guy, but I'm very kinky. So
So there
And
you
that's
go.
why you go where you go. And that's
exactly.
how it's supposed to work.
But
Yeah,
we do have
exactly.
to back this up.
I just need to get that, like physical.
we, I think we got
Okay, you
but
guys got it. Okay.
thank you.
This was
Thank you
fantastic.
so much. This was
Yes.
You guys,
awesome.
and
We
look,
love that
and
you
if
participated.
And I
yeah,
love your openness and your authenticity, and that you're so positive about dating, and that's rare right now.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
oh,
And
well,
So
we
thank you.
really
hey,
appreciate that you participated.
Yes.
anytime you want to do this again, I'm available.
Yes.
Oh, we
have to
do.
follow up.
We want to follow up to
Yes.
that date.
Okay, we'll follow up on
Yes.
that date and maybe another date, another date. I don't know what the future brings, but I'm just gonna keep trying. That's
Yes,
all.
There you go.
There you go.
All right.
Thank
Well,
you.
thank you so much. We appreciate you.
I
Yeah.
appreciate it's been really fun
Bye
talk.
bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Um,
Well, there you
there
have it.
is. We got
Paul from Rome.
all the way from Rome. Very interesting.
It was interesting, but it does put a different perspective on it, just
Absolutely.
based on which apps he's using.
Yes. Yes.
So I wasn't ready for that. I
No,
don't.
I didn't.
I think you weren't ready.
He
for
did not
that.
tell us that in the
We weren't ready for
pre-interview.
that. So because but at the same time, he was using Hinge for his next
Yeah,
date,
he
which
did.
is regular,
He was
a
using
regular
it also.
normal.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll get an update
Yes.
on that
With him
after
and
that
Monique.
happens with
Yes,
Monique
right?
from
Yes.
Rwanda.
And I liked I liked Paul because he was so positive
He did
about
Yeah,
the
he was
dating. Like he was, and I think, like I said, largely in part to the fact that he does not limit himself.
Mm-mm.
He sticks with age appropriate. So he's gonna have women that actually want to be with him, so that eliminates some of that other, some of the not getting
Oh,
calls.
if he wasn't trying to be age appropriate, that man would be scammed from here to there. I'm just gonna
Yes,
say.
and that's what makes them
Oh,
disgruntled,
yes.
because they're getting scammed, or these scammers are not wanting to meet them, and it's becoming an issue. Now Paul did say that he was having an issue as well with the women not wanting to meet.
Yes.
He did say that.
Yes.
But it's a different culture. See, I don't even know where to even
I don't
begin
know.
with what may be the issue with that, and it could be the fact that, which I believe it is, he does not want marriages completely off the table. And I don't know. We might need to do a separate video just to unpack how a woman would see him as a partner when she's gonna come in and come out as if she was never there.
Never there.
Yes. So how?
Because he's all settled now. Like there is no room.
No room for anyone.
No room.
No room for anyone else. He's not even wanting to cohabitate. So
you're not even getting the coffee table.
Nothing. The rings. It's not even the rings. Nope. It's all his fingers.
Nope.
Nothing. So and being a part, obviously being in a relationship, because while he was talking, I was thinking, how is that going to work for someone? Obviously, being in a relationship is not just about stuff and things. However, when you have been invested in a person, in a relationship, and then when they,
whatever happens,
whatever happens,
some life event,
then you, especially illness, obviously death, and then you just walk away with
this could be like, I mean, it could be, not only do you have to deal with somebody's illness, death, whatever, but also now you can't live where you were living.
Right.
It could be something that crazy.
If they were living
that
together.
Was the case.
Yes.
So, these are.
Yeah, and I think even the issue of not, if you are in a long-term committed and then there's an illness, you can't even go see him in the hospital.
No.
You can't. You can't make any decisions.
No
you can't
decisions,
do anything.
Nothing.
So and at this age, that's around the corner.
Yeah.
So that's something to really think about.
It's actually one of those things that makes me think that this age is one of the most important ages to be married to somebody or have some kind of connection that legally says that you can make decisions.
And at least visit them, because it could boil down to just visitation in the hospital. Yeah. And people aren't thinking of that, but those are real things.
It's valid.
And for him, I think that might be part of the reason. Once the conversation happens, they talk about goals, and he's being wishy-washy like he was with us. Well, let me talk. Okay, well, this and that. Man, okay. So, I mean, that could women could, okay, well, he's not,
Yeah.
But I think he's having fun, though, meeting. I think he really likes the meeting the people and talking and this and that. I don't think he's suffering from it.
No.
Because he likes
and we gotta respect the fact that it is fairly recent that he became a widow.
Oh, I thought it was 3 years.
I think it was 2.
Well, okay.
But whatever. That's recent.
But okay. It's recent.
It's recent.
Yes. But I'm not saying that what he's doing is wrong. I think he needs to do what's comfortable for him. But I'm saying as far as the women not wanting to go further than the conversations, because maybe it is about the fact that they don't know what that's going to look for them long term.
And maybe that's why the more adult sides work better for him.
Because there's no attachment. Yeah. And I agree, yes. And I think that's good. I think he needs to go ahead and live his best life. Yeah. And he is doing that. And with a positive attitude. And that was refreshing to hear, and to hear him talk about same age women in such a positive way. Although I'm sure he's wanting, because he wants that upper echelon. He wants the doctors and the lawyers, and which, that's his thing. But he is appreciating the women that are his same age. And I like that about him. Just like Paul.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Paul's a keeper.
Yep. And hopefully we'll talk to him after this date.
Yes, to see what happens.
To see
the
how that
Rwanda
goes.
girl.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. I picture her as a very queenly,
regal.
like, I don't know.
I picture regal and very
statuesque.
Right? Yes, I
almost have a
slathered in.
Like a spire. I don't know.
But I pictured regal.
Yes. So I'm not sure we're going to see a picture necessarily.
No, unfortunately. I would not want to do that to her.
But definitely hear what happens on their date would be great.
If it would. And so there's another interview that we have. So we're going to try to do more and more. We have Kate coming back for a live.
That's right. And don't forget to comment.
Yes.
And subscribe so you don't miss the next video.
Yes.
Give us your thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
And until next time, don't forget to live,
laugh,
and connect.
And yes, I'm doing it. I don't care. I
guess you are.
I am.
It's not going to hurt. But here you go. Bye, everyone.